Hello and welcome to Direct Express Help. Today I'm going to answer a question that we've been getting on this channel from our readers and listeners, and it's about why is the 2024 COLA, the cost of living adjustment, so low? You've probably seen and are expecting an increase in 2024, but it's not as large as what you saw in 2021 and 2022. And so a lot of you are wondering what happened? How did we go from 8.7% in 2022, which reflected in your 2023 Social Security and Disability checks, to what we're hearing is going to be a 3.1, 3.2% increase for 2024? Well, today I'm going to explain to you what happened and why your increase is so low. And it's understandable because for a lot of you, you're frustrated because you've seen rising cost of living. Everything has gotten expensive, and your Social Security and Disability check is not keeping up with rising costs and inflation. So before I get into all that, if you're new to this channel, I want to urge you to subscribe to our channel because we release videos all the time about news and events and things that are happening both outside of Congress and in Congress that affects your Social Security, disability, and Direct Express benefits. And we want you to be the first to know when we release a new video. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button so that you'll be the first to know when a new video with information that you would need comes up. So let's dive right into it. So first of all, before I explain why the COLA is going to be so low, let's explain the process that the government uses to determine COLA. So maybe that would help give you some background on why this year's increase is going to be so low. Well, first, what is COLA? Well, COLA is the cost of living adjustment. It was mandated by Congress in 1975 to be a way for the Social Security Administration to adjust beneficiary benefits to keep up with rising costs. So essentially what they want to do is to make sure that your Social Security and Disability benefits are not eroded or eaten up by inflation. So every year, the Social Security Administration announces the cost of living adjustment in October 1st to go into effect January 1st, and it is meant to address the rising cost or not of goods and services for the previous year. So, how is COLA calculated? Well, the official way it is calculated is called the Consumer Price Index for Wage Earners and Clerical Workers, so CPI-W. It's a very fancy name to say that this is the government looks at a list of goods and services, and they look at price of those goods and services every third quarter of the year. And then they take an average. And if prices have gone up, then it means that cost has gone up. Cost of living has gone up. So then that means that there's rising inflation. So they will make an adjustment to your Social Security and Disability benefits based on that increase in the average price of the list of those goods. So in years that they do the calculation and compare it to the previous year, if prices have gone up, then you see an increase. So for example, in 2021, there was a 5.9% increase in COLA that went into effect in 2022 because that was the increase in prices that they observed when they did the average. And then in 2022, there was an 8.7% increase, which was last year, which went into effect this year in 2023 because we all know inflation continued to go up. Well, for 2024, if you've paid attention to the news, the government is showing that inflation has been going down. It means that the price increase is not as dramatic as it used to be the last 2 years. So the trend of inflation, the month-over-month inflation, has been trending down. So it was expected that cost of living adjustment that would take effect in 2024 was going to be lower than the last 2 years. But I think a lot of people did not expect the dramatic decrease that we're going to see, which is over 50%. I mean, it's a big deal that we are going from 8.7% to maybe 3.1, 3.2, 3.3% for 2024. That's a big deal. So that is how the government came up with the number. But here's another number I want to share with you. Actually, two different data points that will help you understand what a lot of seniors and people on disability are facing regarding cost of living. Number one, the average Social Security benefit for 2023 is $1,781. That is low. And here is the kicker. 40% of seniors only rely on Social Security as their main source of income. Main and only source of income. So they have every 4 out of 10 seniors are only depending on their Social Security check as their only monthly income. And that average check is $1,781. And to make things worse, since 2000, the last over 20 years, since 2000, Social Security cost of living has gone up by 78%. If you add up all the COLA increases since 2000, it has only gone up by 78%. However, the price of goods and services have gone up by 141%. So think about that. The gap between the increase in Social Security checks to the increase in price of goods and services is like this. No wonder seniors are struggling. No wonder a lot of seniors are forced to continue to work even during the time when we see it as retirement age. A lot of seniors are working way late into their years, or some are going back into the workforce because the Social Security check hasn't caught up and isn't catching up with inflation or rising cost of living. And another point is that seniors face a different cost that is even more significant, which is medical cost. And medical cost has gone up significantly higher than everything else. I mean, if you're paying health insurance, you know what I'm talking about. If you've bought any medicine or you've gone for any procedure, you can see how high and how much medical cost has gone up. And seniors bear a big brunt of that because, as we all know, as people age, a lot of medical problems develop. And they are more prone to also certain kinds of medical issues. And so they are exposed to more medical costs as a result. And so if inflation, if their checks, their Social Security checks, is not rising, then and catching up with the rising cost of everything that they have to deal with, then you can see why there's a gap between what seniors are making and the reality of what they have to deal with, which is the cost of living. So what do? Well, if you're thinking about alternatives, well, it means you have to work more, or you have to save more, or you have to depend on your family more, which is a problem for a lot of people. But there is government assistance that are available to seniors: food assistance, transportation assistance, home and housing assistance, and most importantly, health care assistance. So if you are struggling, know that there are these benefits available to you. And for a lot of seniors, they feel a stigma around government benefits, but most of these are entitlement benefits. So if you qualify, you're going to get it. You're not taking benefits away from anybody. That's why they call entitlement benefits, so that when you qualify, you get it. So that's another way to be able to deal with what is happening with income for seniors and people on disabilities, and the rising cost of living, and the fact that those checks that they're getting, their government benefits checks, are not catching up with the rising cost of living. So that is why the COLA is so low this year. I hope I've explained that in detail. If you have any questions at all about COLA, Social Security, disability, Direct Express, let us know in the comment section below. And more importantly, if you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, please do so that you'll be the first to know when we release videos about things that affect your Social Security and disability benefits, because that's what we do. We pay attention so that you don't have to, and we bring you the information that's going to be critical about things that may affect your benefits, both in a positive and negative way. So until the next time, if you have any questions, let us know in the comment section below.